So I never thought, I'm going to be a barber. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is not going to be my profession. Because I worked in different places, and I worked as a cleaner. I worked for a solicitor one time. I had different types of jobs, but I never liked any of them. Never liked it. Never felt the way I feel now. Now I cut hair, and for me, it's not work. It's just
because you are responsible for a lot of kids out there. Because the whole country is feeling it. Like certain industries are feeling it at the moment.
Yeah, it's been difficult for everyone, financially, mentally. It's hit everyone's pocket. It's been hard for me.
I can imagine, even talking about that, even one of the things, so imagine she turns 40, right, Friday. Would you guess what was her main stress? Because she didn't know I booked at this venue for her.
Yeah.
So it was literally a surprise.
Okay.
Can you imagine what her main stress was? On her birthday, took the kids to school, went for a walk, had a nice day, family came around, mum and dad came around, and the rest of the outside family, we done a Zoom surprise call for her.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's weird. It's the first time I've actually been on Zoom. It was actually weird, and I didn't like it. I'd rather not do it again. Do you know what our main stress was? My hair's not done. I'm like, babe, we're not going anywhere. You can just wear a hat, but it's my 40th. My hair's not done. So she was stressed about that. I'm like, sorry, I can't help you.
Which is what a lot of people actually stress about right now. Even if you're not going, it would just doing your hair for yourself to feel good. It's very important.
Which is the main thing, because even in the army, the army is, why they shave off their hair and look small all the time?
No, hit me out, no.
It helps them to remember that they're humans. Because through the fighting and the war and everything, the rain, in the bush and the jungle fighting for, you have to remember there's some human element to you. Okay. And staying clean actually helps them remember that they're still humans.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
literally, when I read that up, I'm like, okay. Whether it's true or not, ask Uncle Google. That's what Uncle Google told me, which is weird. And for you as a barber, how has this pandemic hit you hard?
Many ways. The first lockdown was probably the hardest for everyone. For the first 2 months, because then no one really knew what was going on. This new, virus, and hearing the news, TV, going on about it every day. So you start thinking, wow, what's happening, But then after a month, 2 months of not doing anything, just being at home, watching TV, eating, getting fat, drinking, then it starts to hit you. Wow, my life's changed, And when you look at your bank account and the money's not there to pay for certain bills, for certain stuff, buy new kicks. Anything, the normal,
Yeah.
Obviously, you work, you look after yourself, you look after your family. And I wasn't able to do what I normally do, I had just enough.
Which is weird, because within London alone, there is about 287,000 people who work in your industry.
287,000.
287,000. Those who are registered. So, there's a few who are not registered. So imagine those people not having an income at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that work, cash in hand, don't do, the taxes, their accounts, and then...
Which that hit them hard.
Yeah, because they can't.
Because the government was giving out their self-employed grants.
Self-employment grants, yeah.
But you can only get it if you're up
to date.
If you're paying your
taxes.
Which a lot of barbers didn't.
A lot of barbers didn't.
Which you can understand, because a lot of barbers I know the barber I used to go to, I know there's a few barbers who could sit in that chair for literally the whole day and they get 3 to 4 customers.
Yeah.
If they're lucky. And if you're starting off, and then you have to pay rent for the chair.
Yeah. Some barbers work different. Some barbershops, you know, you pay rent for your chair. Some barbershops pay you in commission. Some barbershops pay you a weekly base. You know, it depends on what you make. You know, it's just it's different. Well, it depends on where you work. You know, I work in commission. You know, so the more I work, the more I make, sort of thing. So like, and then obviously you could be self-employed working for a barbershop or a self-employed barber. Yeah, it works differently. So for instance, with me it was different because I pay my own taxes, so that helped me out. But not until probably 2 months in or 3 months in.
Yes, no, it was 4 months in. I think
it took a while.
Yeah,
and my savings went. Yeah. And I obviously paying for bills, paying for this, paying for that, buying food. My savings went, and then that's when I started to feel it. That's when I started going, man, this is crazy. What's gonna happen? When are we gonna go back? And people calling me up, bro, I need a haircut. I was like, bro, you can't really be going out there doing.
Because you could. I guess it was a tricky one for you because you can't cut your hair even if you wanted to for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
One, if you get caught,
yeah,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, you get fined. You get in
and
trouble.
2, you could actually get the coronavirus.
Yeah, of course.
So either way,
you're putting yourself at risk if you're putting other people at risk.
Exactly.
You know?
If you don't mind me asking me, how much do you charge for a haircut?
At the shop?
Yeah.
I would charge 30 to 40 quid in the shop.
Okay. And private call outs?
Depends where you are, where you're based.
Okay.
Depends the type of haircut.
The cheapest?
60.
And then a week, you work in 5 days, 6 days a week, I'm assuming.
I work 6 days a week.
6 days. And then on average, how many clients would you see a day?
From 10 to 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
JB, we need to close this studio down. Put a couple chairs in here, you know what I mean? Invest in some clippers. I'm willing to learn. We got our first client right there.
Jason's got this side throw going on.
Listen,
sticking out the hat, out the sides of the hat.
If you don't see JB
see him right now,
I swear. So imagine just the thought of the unknown, as you said, the first lockdown.
Yeah,
you don't know how much you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you don't know when it's coming, and as you said, because there was that uncertainty, so you're blowing through your savings.
Yeah,
because it took a while for the pandemic or the lockdown to register with a lot of people.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like I said, 1 or 2 months in, for those first 2 weeks, I was like, oh yeah, nice, you know, chilling.
I can rest.
I can watch all the TV series or Netflix, and you know, I can it's some time for myself and my family. It felt good to actually spend time with your family. You know, the people in your bubble, the people you actually, you know, allowed to see, and the people you live with, time with the kids, my nephews, my brothers, my mom, you know, we all have a big household. So, you know, spending time with them was nice. But then after a while, I'm like, shit, get on my side.
I need to go outside.
I need to go outside. Even going to the shop for me was like, you know, refresh, have a cigarette, and you're like, can I? After a while, it starts to hit you, and then because you wake up and you're like, okay, what do I do now? It's like get some food. You start getting anxious. You know, you start thinking of what to do, and there's only so much TV you can watch, so much. So I started listening to a lot of music, like going back old school hip hop and all that, doing research and whatnot, talking about a lot of things. Started doing a lot of different things. Even within barbering, I started like watching videos on how to new techniques, new clippers.
Apart from you had no clients to practice on.
Exactly.
Or do you have one of those? Oh, actually, the nephews, the kids got free haircuts.
My brothers, the kids, my brothers cut their hair. So
if there's ever another lockdown, can I be part of your bubble?
Yeah, of course. Come on, bro.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'm
saving £60 a trim. I'm part of the bubble. You know, literally, it'll work. So going back to what you said in regards to the payment, the free payment, no, not free payment. Took 4 months to kick in, which I found that very unfair because
it took longer for some people.
Yeah, and some people didn't get it.
Some people didn't get it.
Some people didn't get it.
For me, it took longer. I was like, yeah, you're eligible for it. And I'm still waiting for a while. And then I was like, it doesn't matter if you call them up and try and find out. They're not gonna.
They can't.
They can't.
They can't.
Just gotta wait.
What was that mental state like? Because now reality is coming. Obviously, at home, the more you're at home, the more you consume, so the more you eat. And sadly, Tesco and Sainsbury's, Asda, all of them weren't open. And it was easier for you to order things on Amazon Prime. So money is going out.
Yeah. Oh, you become really actually addicted to it.
And it's like your guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
You feel good. Oh, I ordered this today. Oh yeah, I got this new toy.
Yeah. So I was buying stuff that I don't need. I bought a lot of new things for work before we opened back up. So I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna order this new clipper. I'm gonna order, but I actually didn't need it. I was just buying it because I was like, you know what? Let me look at the news because I was watching all these videos and all these new techniques. Oh yeah, you know what? I can still do it with the things I've got, but let me just buy it because I want to have it. And yeah, so it started spending money on things that right there and then I didn't need.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And for me, I love barbershop. When I came to the UK, I was 11.
Where are you from?
Liberia.
Okay.
West of Africa. My first ever job was in a barbershop.
Really?
Yeah, in Kilburn, called Black Star.
Were you sweeping up?
I was sweeping up.
How old were you back then?
I was 11.
Okay.
So 11 and a half.
That's mad.
I was literally sweeping up. And then the guy who owned the shop, I won't say his name because we're still friends up to now. He had trouble paying me. He never used to pay me.
You don't pay the guy that sweeps up, bro. He's there learning.
No, because my English wasn't good enough.
Okay.
Couldn't speak English.
Very similar story. I'll tell you my story in a bit.
Literally couldn't speak a word of English. And I had no interest in becoming a barber.
Okay.
I just wanted something to do. Yeah. Know people in the area, so and the deal is that he will pay me. It was something like £4 a week, which was nothing. Mm-hmm. But as an 11-year-old, £4 a week, that's a lot. Yeah. So I'm sweeping. And the one thing I loved about the barbershop is so many different characters will come in. Yeah. And it's those, some people used to come in a barbershop.
The guy that sells the CDs. The guy that sells the everything.
It's funny you say that because I ended up being the guy who was selling CDs, literally. Jed, am I lying? Literally. Because this guy kept coming in the barbershop with CDs all the time. Yeah. All the time, coming with CDs. And he's just making a killing. He's making money. Yeah. But he wasn't coming in often enough. Like, we're coming once every 2 weeks. He was
slacking.
And everyone would be waiting for him. So one time I approached him saying, why does it take you long to come in? He goes, I have to go to the shop. Look, why don't you give me some and then I'll sell them for you. Yeah. And then I'll get a little something. Yeah. We did that. Within 4 days, I sold all his CDs, right? And if I told you, imagine I must have sold about 25 CDs.
Well, how old were you when you started selling CDs?
I'm 12 now.
Oh, so it's a year later?
Yeah, you know how the barbershop is. You just... Guy with phones, guy with watches, everything.
And how was your English by the time you were 12? The thing is, when you're young, you learn quick.
You learn quick. And you could pick up. And
I arrived here when I was 12.
Oh, 12?
Yeah, in 96.
From?
Colombia.
Wow. What area did you arrive
South
to?
London. Brixton.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, But...
Now I see why you wasn't getting paid as a hair sweeper. now it makes sense. In Northwest, hair sweepers gets paid. In South, you on your own. Forget it.
Yeah. No, that their way of paying me was like, no, you're learning.
Okay.
Like, no, you're learning, man. I was like, what?
Who trusted you enough to sit there? I bet you your first customer was a newbie in that shop.
No.
Was someone you knew?
It was someone I knew. So I didn't get to cut hair in that shop until I was like probably 16.
So you'd done 4 years?
4 years.
Sweeping? Not getting paid?
I was cutting at home.
Ah.
So I would go to this is what happened. So I was going to school, right? So just story from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting story. I always tell it. I love to tell this story.
These are the best stories that people don't even like. I love the background.
And you have to realize that back then, there was only one clipper. And that same clipper used that same clipper to shape up, the same clipper for everything, right? And there was no internet, no YouTube.
Nothing.
None of that. None of the things that you've got now. The facilities that you have now to become a barber is like, if you want to become a barber nowadays, it's much easier.
There's even there's actually barber academies.
There's barber academies, yeah. Which, I'm not going to mention which, but some of them don't exactly teach you everything you need to know to become a barber. You need that experience, that essence of the barbershop. Even if you do a 9-week course, 10-week course,
you have to be there.
You're not a barber.
So let's go back. You're 12. You arrive in Brixton.
I'm 12. Speak no English.
Just like me.
Just Spanish, yeah.
In Brixton. What's the Spanish population in Brixton?
Brixton, there was no one.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of Portuguese people, not many Latinos, only a few. But young like me, I had one friend in school who spoke Spanish from Ecuador. That was the only one.
Wow.
Yeah. So I see his trim, and I was like, in Spanish, I asked him, bro, where'd you get your trim from? It looks sick. Because my dad was cutting my hair. He was giving me
yeah, we know those.
No fade.
You had it better than my mum used to cut my hair.
My dad bought a pair of clippers from Argos, £20 pair of clippers. And when we arrived, because we went to a barbershop to get a trim, and he asked the man, we didn't even go to a barbershop, it was a salon, right?
Yeah.
So salon, I think, I'm talking about back in 96, he asked the man how much the trim for a kid. He said £15. I said, that £15? How much is this in Colombia?
No.
When Argos got the clippers, and he just butchered us. Me and my two brothers.
And you went to school the next week?
The next day. And so I went to school.
Brixton,
I got bullied. Yeah. Like, everyone was cracking up. Look at that. And then, so I see my friend, and I'm like, his name is Gallo. We're actually still friends after all these years. And I was like, Gallo, bro, would you get that haircut, bro? I need a fade. I need that. I can't have this, man. And he was like, oh, got to that bar. There's a Nando's in Brixton. The Nando's wasn't there before. There's a Nando's in Brixton, and it's basically across the road from that Nando's. And I started going there. First time I went there, got a sick fade. I think I used to pay $5 back then for a trim.
Yeah, it was cheap.
$5 for kids.
It was
back
cheap.
then. So what I would do is my dad would give me money for school every day for lunch. And I'll save up £1 from that lunch money every day. So on Saturday I could go get a trim. My hair grows quick. I've got really thick.
So you used to have a trim every week?
Every week.
Jesus, you was born to be a barber.
Yeah, for real. And I just loved it. From the first time I walked in there, I loved it.
The culture,
like, the music, the football on the TV, the culture. I'm from Colombia, so our culture is very similar. Like the Caribbean, African culture, the food is very similar to Colombia. So I loved it straight away. You know, talking about girls and whatnot, all these conversations go. Even though I didn't understand, the energy. Yeah, the energy was sick. I was like, wow, I like this. And I was basically, you know, trying to growing up like in a different country and different culture. I was like, I need this. This is gonna build me up. Like I didn't think like that back then, but I kind of felt it that way. So my dad would give me money. Yeah. Save up that $5 for Saturday. And Saturday I wake up, I'm like, yes, I'm a barbershop. Go to the barbershop, and they'll be like, yeah, you have to wait. You're like, yeah, I don't mind. The first time I did that actually was funny because I was there the whole day. And my mom didn't know where I was. So I went there, and they're like, yeah, you have to wait. I was like, yeah, cool. But then when it came to my turn, I'll be like, no, it's all right. So I started sweeping up. They were like, what's he doing?
Oh.
No, don't. I'll sweep up. Then they started sending me shop. Started doing this and that for them, getting them things from the shop. Or when they needed blades or stuff like that, I'll go down to the Afro hair shop, get all the stuff, the creams, everything. They'll write it down for me, and I'll go get it, bring it back, receipts, everything.
How was your English at this time? So you're still 12 now?
Yeah, I'm still 12. The good thing is that back then I wanted to learn English so bad that I'll go back home and study. Remember, no internet, no Google, nothing. This is like a book that had learned English, the Spanish to English, and it will teach you how to say things and blah, blah, blah. Make up sentences.
Was anyone speaking English at home?
No. No one spoke English at home. No one. So it was hard. But it's all I knew. So I just wanted to get on with it. So, but as the weeks went on, I started learning more and more, hearing the same thing every day, this and that, number 2, number 1, the fade, give me a shape up, give me a little, line. So you start catching on. What they didn't know is that I was sweeping up and I was actually watching it and learning. So I go back home. So let me go back to the story. So the first time, I went back home. Mama's, where you been? She's so worried. It's like, Mom was at the barbershop. Barbershop all this time? I was like, yeah, no, because I've been learning. Like, learning what? And then she was like, let me show you. I was like, let me show you. So I grabbed one of my little brothers, like, come. I completely messed up his hair.
What have you been learning?
It's like, is that what you're learning? Don't ever stay there all day. Because obviously we didn't have phones nothing, so. But yeah, as time went on, I started getting better and better. I started playing football, started getting more friends, knowing more people. And then my haircut started getting better. My brothers will always have a fresh trim at school. So their friends started asking them, who cut your hair?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my brother. Oh, can he cut my hair? How much are you charging? $5. Cool. So Saturdays, now, I'll go get a haircut, go straight back home and cut clients. So I was making probably like £40
a day.
How
old was you now?
I was
15?
15, 16. That for a 15-year-old back then.
I just wanted my £4 a week, and you getting £40 a day.
Sometimes less, sometimes a bit more. So I didn't have to ask my mum for money anymore, or my dad.
Yeah.
And I could buy it.
And they could see where the money's coming from.
Yeah.
Because you're cutting them at home.
Yeah, and they actually started supporting me.
Beautiful.
My mum hated the hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this hair, But then I'll be like, hey, Mum, for the meter.
I love you, son.
And then she started like supporting me, and she saw that I liked it. I never thought I was going to be a barber.
It's a good profession.
Yeah.
I've literally, for me, I was never interested in being a barber. I just wanted to be in the barber shop because, like you, I didn't know anyone. And it was easy to make friends. And I just loved the energy of being in a barber shop.
The energy, the banter, man. Like you have to watch what you say in the shop. Yes. At all times, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Because if you mess up, that's where we get you.
Do you know how many fights I witnessed? and when I say fights, I'm talking about full-on fights. And from nothing. From just literally two guys having a different opinion. Yeah. And they couldn't articulate themselves. Yeah. It just the energy. Yeah, everyone just...
From football to girls to...
Everything.
To Illuminati. Everything.
And the beauty, not beauty, but one of the funny things, when a fight broke out, it took you a while to realize, oh, they're actually fighting.
Yeah, because they're arguing.
All the time, yeah.
All the time. And then you don't know they're actually fighting.
No, I loved it.
So my first cut at that barbershop, I had already been cutting hair for a while. So I go back to the shop. And there was a guy from Jamaica, called him Papi. Yeah, everyone called him Papi. Okay. I'm like, Papi, give me a check, man.
That's a weird name for a Jamaican. Jason, you're a bit Jamaican. Is Papi not?
It's not a name. It's just like his
nickname.
Nickname, yeah. Okay. Everyone called him Papi, which is Latin anyway.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
It was probably the girls calling him that. I don't know. Anyway, everyone called... He probably called himself that. Yeah, it is. Self-proclaimed.
I'm Papi.
So I'm like, hey, Papi, give me a chair, man. He's like, like, nah, bro, you too young. You don't know how to cut black people hair. I was like, what? I don't know how to cut afro hair. Okay. I said, okay, if anyone sits with you, I'll give you a chair. If anyone sits with you, you can have the chair. He gave me like a probation period.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. So in Colombia, we're very mixed. We have black, we have white. We're very mixed race, like Brazil.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of black Colombian friends. So I called them up. By then, I already had a phone.
At £40 a day, was it the Nokia banana flip phone?
It was the Sonic Baby Ericsson.
Oh, the Sony, but yes, the green one. It was like green and it was
like
it was meant to be colors,
like
but not
little screen.
Yes,
yeah. The tiny little screen.
I had one, and the buttons were thin and
tight.
Kids,
Ericsson.
you don't know what you're missing out on, kids.
Nah, you don't. Come on. So I called him up, and one of them turned out him and his brother, and they came in. And there was actually two barbers that weren't doing anything. They're like, yes, man, come on, sit down. Started like cleaning their chair.
Yeah, like, no,
and they're like, no, we're waiting for him. And everyone was like, what? Like, yeah, waiting for him. I was like, oh, yes, thank God. So they came, sat down, cut the first one. Everyone was looking at it like, it wasn't like the best haircuts. I wasn't giving like the haircuts they're giving now. Or back then, they were like, okay, cool. He knows what he's doing. He cut his friend. Nice haircut. It was like probably like a 2 and a skin fade.
Yeah.
But it looked nice.
Basic,
yeah, but it looked nice. So Papi went, yeah, you got the chair. But I was still struggling because people would come and see the white boy in the corner like that.
Yeah, no, we don't treat you. It wasn't as common as it is now back then. No. Anyway.
Back, I'm talking about, but still back in the 90s.
No, yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't as common. Like, now anyone cuts anyone, bro. You know, but back then, you know, you'd be like, no, if this guy's been cutting my hair forever, plus you probably don't know how to cut afro hair.
Yeah.
They didn't trust it, so cool. So what happens in a barbershop a lot of the time, especially in the barbershop in the hood, there's always the barber that is cutting your hair, it's on his phone and it's cutting your hair.
Yeah. I hate it.
Or he's cutting your hair and he gets a shot, he goes outside and that's the deal. Or he's cutting the hair and he's like, let me go shop and get a drink. Or a girl walks past, like, 1 second, go talk to the girl. That happens a lot.
All the time.
Used to happen a lot back then.
Still happens now.
It still happens now, probably, yeah. And then there was a guy that was always like that. And then he had people always waiting because he was a good barber, but he didn't respect his clientele like they respected him. And I was sitting there, they're always waiting for him. And then it turned out that one of my clients turned up. He's got like 2 people waiting there for hours. One of my clients turned up, one of my Colombian friends. Cut his hair.
They see that.
Guy that's sitting there sees that I cut his hair. He's like, this guy's had me waiting for time. I'm sitting with you. I'm like, come on, I look after you. Cleaned him up nice. And then you see my guy going.
The friction started.
Taking my clients, bro. Taking my clients, he sat with me. I taking my clients, bro. So it started getting, a little bit of beef. But I liked it. Like when it pushed me to, I want to be good. I want to be better.
It is what it is in those places.
But I was also studying at the time. So I never thought, I'm going to be a barber. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is not going to be my profession. Because I worked in different places and I worked as a cleaner. I worked for a solicitor one time. I had different types of jobs, but I never liked any of them. Never liked it. Never felt the way I feel now. Now I cut hair, and for me, it's not work. It's just
because you are responsible for a lot of kids out there.
Yeah.
So what I mean is, listen, I've seen guys with fresh trims perform miracles on women. So I've seen guys after the nice trim, the way like back in the day we used to go O2 Center to check girls or Chicadero.
Yeah.
Or if you go clubbing and you got the freshest trim.
Yeah.
You're responsible for a lot of kids out there.
Yeah, a lot of the population is because of us.
There you go. So that's how important you are. And I remember, because I was late in the club scene. I still, even up to now, don't like going out.
Okay.
No one, I think nowadays no one will go anywhere without a trim.
Yeah.
No
it's
one.
A thing,
and
man.
like you said, back in the day, I remember there's a time I would go to the barbershop around 11 or 12 and I don't go home till 4 because you're just waiting.
Yeah.
And the
wait.
conversation is just so intense and so nice. You just, even after you cut your trim, you're still
you
there.
Stay there. Yeah, you get food and you go back in the shop.
Literally.
Thing is nowadays, the booking systems in a barbershop, like, it's very important to have a booking system, and staying on time. Where our barbershop is now is in central London, Knoxville Circus, and everyone there is always on the clock.
What is the difference? Because I know the pay is better, central London, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But what's the cultural difference? Does it feel like a barbershop to you?
Yes, actually it does, because my barbershop is the only barbershop in central London that is the way we are. You come into our barbershop and you have people from all backgrounds. You have black, white, Chinese, everyone. Right?
Do you still get that conversation, that energy?
Because we are
the hood. But the hood in corporate.
Central London.
What's the name of the barber?
Champs Barbers.
Champs Barbers.
Champs Barbers, like champs.
Champions. And where exactly are you situated?
It's in Knoxville Circus, Riding House Street in Knoxville Circus. 17 Riding House Street.
Just don't turn up or you'll be waiting for 5 hours. Please book online.
Book online.
Oh, you can book online.
You can book online. You can book on Instagram. You can go on the Champs Barbers Instagram and book through there. Jeez. You can go on my personal Instagram and book through there. You can call up the shop, book through there. There's an app. You can download the app, book through there. So it's very easy. You can pay for the app. So you just got to do is turn up, get the haircut, go. So a lot of people, like, obviously, it's
wow.
Sometimes you don't realize that taking payments and all this, you can minimize all that by just booking online, turning up, getting a haircut, go. Some people get their haircut, they got exactly the time to get the haircut and then go for a date or go for a business meeting or for a job interview. And so that's why the booking system is really important nowadays. It works.
For those barbers who never did fill in their tax return forms, do you understand where they're coming from or not?
I do, because I've done it before. It's probably for them more easier when you take cash pay. If you got a lot of kids, when I take as much money back home as you can, back to
obviously
to pay your bills. Some barbers charge less, some barbers charge more. So you want to be able to, make your ends meet. And I understand why they do that. But then again, it's really important that you start paying for your taxes. You start doing it, because a lot of people, no one ever expected for something like this to happen.
Never. So
now that it's hit reality, you see how important it is to actually start doing your numbers the right way. Because even in the future, you pay for your pension, you can, get a loan if you need to. So it's very important. It's very important.
But that's because you respect the craft and it's what you do. Some people, they're probably still doesn't register that's their full-time job. They're still thinking that's my side hustle.
Exactly, yeah.
But on the flip side, do you feel that the government have handled it all right not to pay those people who did not fill in the tax return? I say that
I think there should have been given more help out there to people because no one expected this to happen. Not only barbers, but tattoo artists, girls that do nails and eyebrows and lashes, and a lot of people that are in the beauty industry and other industries that didn't, or probably just starting off and don't actually know how to do these things like paying your taxes, have an accountant, stuff like that, and then you have to close down and you can't do what you do. You can't feed your kids properly, and you can't pay your bills, and you're just being given universal credit, and that's not enough, So I think there should have been more help out there for people that didn't manage their finances properly. So I think they could have handled it better, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Even now,
because they're spending money on other things that don't even work.
Don't work.
And I'm not gonna get into that, but
they still had the Christmas lights this year, and
exactly.
I think the Christmas lights are millions, isn't it?
Yeah, that test and trace thingy, 20-something billion.
I read somewhere that I don't know how true it is. Someone have to research it. apparently the taste and trace app, it's not working. But
Never
apparently the guy that done it, I don't know his name, apparently he got paid something like millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
And not only him, there's a lot of people that are directly involved with the government or are friends with next guy in the government, and they're getting contracts and paid, you know, with like they're getting. It's basically
they're
like
making money.
making money.
They're making money.
Making a business out of it.
And we honest, hardworking people who just didn't fit in our tax return. Even those who filled in the tax return, the last tax return that was paid out was November or December. We are now March, and nothing is yet being paid out.
Yeah.
So imagine that's what, almost 4 months, and you already had nothing. When the first payment came, it was 3 to 4 months late.
Yeah.
So you was already 3 to 4 months behind.
Yeah.
So as soon as that came, literally 2 hours later, you're gone to zero again.
Yeah, there's people that have loans and there's other stuff they got to pay for, and yeah, man, basically because you don't. What do you do? What do you do in a situation like that? Do you buy food, or do you pay for your rent, or do you pay for your loan? And what do you do? So it's very stressful. That's why a lot of people
you get into survivor mode.
Yeah, a lot of people go into depression, and that's why the suicide rate's gone up because people don't know what to do, and yeah.
Which goes back to your work, because that's important. As we're saying, a lot of people do go to barbershop just to release some steam, somewhere to go, have that conversation.
Yeah.
And barbershop, for me, I find them so educational, because as you said, you can get a lawyer, a banker, a garbage man, you know, a bus driver, and you just learn from each other.
You do. Yeah, I mean, there's situations in a barbershop where someone's like, oh, you know what, I've been looking for a graphic designer because I'm opening up a business, and the guy in the next chair is like, oh, here's my card, bro.
Boom.
You know, and then the next time they come to the barbershop together, sort of thing that happens all the time in our barbershop. You should come one day when we open up again. All you guys come through, man.
We definitely come.
Hot towel, everything. Chill.
You did a whole towel.
Come on, bro.
The first time I did that, it was a friend of mine, Phil Bellinger. It was getting married, so it was a stag do.
Mm-hmm.
So we met up. We started on Saturday, and it was the first time I went on a pub crawl. See, I'm not a heavy drinker. I had no idea what a pub crawl is.
Yeah.
I was the only black guy with about 18 white men. I'm like, oh, cool, let's go. I'm gonna go to the barber, right? We went to the barber. I'm sweaty. I sat down in the barber chair. It wasn't the best haircut because the guy that cut me was in Farringdon.
Okay.
The guy that cut me was just, you could tell he didn't have much experience on black hair. Just fine, but the experience I got, I had the hot towel and then massaged my neck and my arm. Oh my gosh!
See, now I don't do that.
No, you need to stop. You need no. It was just. I don't know what kind of thing you lot are thinking. it wasn't one of the happy endings, I promise you. There was no. I was sitting in a chair, and it was just to the arms. That's it. There was no happy ending. Let me just put it out there.
Cool.
Okay, let's leave that alone.
Okay.
No, but that is, as I say, your job is crucial.
Yeah.
Moving forward, once things are reopening, do you think there's something the industry can do? Because it's not protected. Your industry is not protected at all, and as in how? As in something like this is happening, the government are not cared about you.
No,
nothing about you, because they seeing it from one way. They seeing on the consumer side of things. They're saying everyone can do without getting the haircut or their hair braided for 6 months. That's how they seeing it. They're not seeing the barbers and the hairdressers. They're not seeing that is their income.
Of course. I mean, and as much as it is bad for the barber, it's bad for the person. They don't see how important it is for someone, how good it makes you feel, like I said, mentally.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
when you go and get a haircut, you feel like a new person. The women, the men, you feel like a new man. You feel like you can like take on the world. You can pick up a chick. You can get a job. You can do what you feel like you can do what you like. It puts your, you know, you walk out there with your chest out, head up, chest up for real. So, and not being able to do that, looking at yourself in the mirror every day, waking up and your hair's all grown out, your beard's stiff, you don't know how to do your own hair, you feel ill and you start feeling ill. You start looking at yourself and like, oh my God, you know, and that you go into depression.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that's the main reason for it, but it helps. It's like gyms. If you don't go to the gym, people that used to go to the gym every day because that's it's like the daily routine. When you can't go to the gym every day, that also affects them up here. Plus, you start getting fat, you know, all that. So,
yeah, no, that is true. I think they should put something in place to protect your like they've put something in place for the theatre industry. After a while, I think, yeah, they're. What I don't understand is why are you barbers not allowed to cut hair? I say that to say this. Do you know there's 2 industries during the whole corona situation that were not affected?
Sure.
One is the police. Like I did not hear, unless I missed this news, I didn't hear anywhere where they said X amount of police officers have died. And the police officer was in contact with more people than any of them.
Listen, when the protests were going on, when the Black Lives Matter protests were going on, you see 20 police up in a van with no masks on.
Exactly.
So, and then they started wearing masks because people were like, so how come you don't have to wear a mask and then we have to wear a mask? And then, yeah, they weren't really following their own rules. Sort of thing.
Wasn't. And there was another industry which a lot of people don't appreciate, or it worked for us. It's the food industry, like supermarkets.
Yeah.
All the big supermarket chains, they were open.
Because and the big businesses.
Exactly.
And if they know the laws, they've got lawyers, they've got people that know the ins and outs of everything. And if you go and shut Sainsbury's down, they'll be like, nope, you can't do that. Not legally. You can't. I didn't want to get into this, but now that we're talking about it, you can't actually shut us down legally. You're not allowed to.
I saw that on it was a tattoo actually. It was circulating.
See that?
What did it say? Land of something.
The law of the land.
The law of the land.
Law of the
and
land.
they couldn't shut him down.
Couldn't shut him down. They'll try to fine you. They'll pester you. They'll make your life hell. But they can't actually shut you down.
No, at 10%, I'm going to give you an idea. When you go to Barber's Champ, get one of those, you know those banners you see on a football match that goes around?
Yeah.
Get a local business to advertise in your shop.
That's a very good idea.
10% to me.
Probably won't do it.
No, look, just think about it.
10%.
You're getting a haircut, because what's in front of when you get a haircut? A mirror, right?
True.
So just above the mirror, you can have.
But see, you saying that, I don't cut hair looking into the mirror. Like, I got you sitting looking away from the mirror. Because the mirror is not for the client.
It's for you.
It's for me.
So wherever you got me sitting,
put it in front.
Put it in front.
Cool.
And I might not even realize.
But you're watching it. You're looking at it. Yeah.
There you go.
That's true.
10%. It's fine.
7.
7.5. We got a deal. You know what? I love negotiating. I just do it for the sake of it. Like one time I went to Dubai and I was negotiating with this guy.
Yeah, haggle it down.
Yeah, I had to.
But I think that's in our nature.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely learned that from my parents. Definitely. Where we're from, you know, like, they tell your price, you know you can go lower on that price. You're like, no, I've got this. You take it or leave it. No,
yeah.
Okay, come, going next door to get it.
No, come
back. Yeah.
So we negotiate, went back and forth. I got the price that I wanted. Yeah. And I got the stuff, and I actually gave him the original price. I actually gave him the, yeah. and the missus looked at me and said, hey. But I said, babe, that was a special, we bonded. Yeah. I felt alive.
Yeah.
It's like getting a new trim. I'm like, let's do this. Yeah. So going back to barbershop, you know, the hard work you went through, the trials and tribulation, let's call them, sweeping hair and bricks, and for literally 5 years, having to prove yourself as a white kid in a black area. I believe that is missing with a lot of kids nowadays. That resilient.
Yeah. obviously we talk about different times. You know, we're going back to the 90s and things are so different now. I think a lot of like new barbers, up and coming barbers, don't get that. Basically, you have to earn your stripes. Whatever you do, you have to learn the basics, like going to the barbershop and getting that essence, that, you know, that everything that builds you into being a barber. A lot of kids are missing that. And from just going to, doing a course. I'm not taking anything away from these courses that they're doing, because they do teach them a lot. They teach them good basics, good skills, but it doesn't teach them how to actually be a barber. Not only a barber in school, but there's a lot of courses out there that don't actually teach you the real world. You know, you have to go out there and experience it for yourself, because they can't. So we've had barbers that come to show, listen, I've got a diploma from such and such. I'm a barber. Yeah. And they're like, okay, cool. Can you cut all types of hair? Yeah, I can cut all types of hair. All right, bring a couple friends. Yeah.
So they have to bring their friends for the first.
Sometimes, you know, like,
because you don't want to give away clients just in case they mess them up. That's bad reputation for the shop.
Yeah. And the client wouldn't just really sit. I mean, when a client comes into our shop, they'll sit with any barber, because we've given ourselves a name that whoever you sit in the shop with, it's going to give you a good haircut. We've worked ourselves to that level, you could say, right? So when clients come, even if it's a new client or if it's an old client and they see a new barber, they're like, sit with him, don't worry, he'll look after you. I'll make sure he'll look after you, okay? But for us, we have to, obviously, you know, do like a checklist on this new barber if you're going to give him a chair.
Oh, wow.
You know, can you cut all types of hair? You know, being Afro, being Asian, Chinese hair, being...
and women too?
Hair. We don't do women.
You don't do women?
We don't.
Why?
I mean, we do short styles on women.
Okay.
Like barber styles on women, but we don't do women's hair.
That's what I mean. Like I was not expecting that.
No, I mean, I could do some things, but I'm not experienced enough to go.
No, it takes too long.
Yeah, no.
5 to 8 hours to get a full braiding for a woman.
No, listen, the women's my respect goes out to all the women out there, all the hairdressers, because they put in the work and they make more money because they do.
No, they don't.
Some of them do.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They might make more money per head, but the volumes are less.
They take longer as well.
Yeah. So at most, let's say a woman, at most, if I'm wrong, please let me know, any women out there. At most, as a women stylist, they'll do 3 to 4. And 4, that's probably pushing it. On average, probably 2. Where a barber, you can cut, as you said, 10 12.
I used to do 20, 25.
Ooh.
Was this all one level? Zip, next.
No.
Proper.
But I was cutting at a different pace. And I'm talking about back in the day when you were doing haircuts for less.
Yeah.
And you have to make that money, because you can't take all this time on a haircut because you only be making this much an hour. So you have to balance it out. So you were doing quicker haircuts, still good, but quicker. Now we take like an hour slot for yourself.
Jeez. Hey, I get the facial massage.
Everything. You get
no happy endings. All right. No. Do you have a drunk barber in your place?
I was the drunk barber in my I was when I went through a phase in my life that I've got to say that I used to drink a lot, not being drunk at work, but like hanging.
Yeah.
I was still like for about 5 haircuts. Don't get me wrong, but
you was the drunk barber.
I was feeling it, bro. I'll be like, like my face, like feeling my body was aching and all that, and then it's like, you start growing up and becoming a man, and it's obviously not professional it's not good for yourself, for your health, because you're on your feet all day. You're on your feet sometimes 12 hours a day. You get like an hour break. If you get an hour break,
and your back start to ache if you're in your feet.
Your back, your legs.
It goes.
Yeah. So I went then it's a learning experience. You have to learn, and then you come out of that, and then you start becoming a man, and then you start doing things right. It's not bad to have a drink every now and then, but I used to drink a lot.
Because every barber, not every, most barbers in the hood, there's always that one drunk barber.
Yeah, there's always the one with the...
But he's good. He can cut. Yeah. But you don't know what level of drunk he is today. So you don't want to risk it. And if you go sit in his chair and he messes you up, you're like, I knew I shouldn't go to
it. Yeah. There's the drunk barber or the barber that likes, drink before a haircut. But no, in our shop, you don't have that, especially because of where we are. You have to be, and the price that you're paying, you have to be very professional. You're expecting quality service, premium service, if you want to call it that. And you don't want your barber to be, boozing, smelling of booze or
especially in that area
even cigarette. Like I ask my barbers, if you have a cigarette or wash your hands, spray yourself a little bit. You don't want to be stinking. It's just like very...
Because you're close.
Very personal. It's face-to-face interaction. You don't want to be talking to, your client and smell like you smoked a cigarette. Or when you eat, you start eating and then your hands smell of food,
Do you have a toilet in the back of your barber?
Yeah.
And is it far from the... Because some barbers, you just go, someone left that toilet. and everyone just sitting there like, no one wants to say it. Like,
no, we have that double door toilet. The other one doesn't open until that one's closed. That's the type of toilet we have now. Because sometimes we've got clients that come and get a haircut and then just let it out after the haircut and leave. I don't know what they do that. I don't know what they do that. It's like, well, you got toilet on, bro.
You know what? Those are brave souls. Like I can't do it.
Our toilet is really nice though. It's comfortable. That's probably what they do. But they come to the shop, and every time they come to the shop, it's like before they pay, it's like, I'm just gonna go to the toilet quickly. Like, yeah, I know. I already know.
Which is a shame when everything opens up, you probably have to close the toilet now anyway.
So at the beginning. The beginning of the first lockdown, we opened up again. You couldn't offer water to clients or coffee, anything like that, which is something that client comes in, you want some coffee, you want coffee, water. We had like a water dispenser, them big bottles. We had one of them. We had to take that out. Yeah, so we had to scrap all that. And the toilet, you couldn't use it for a while. Then it started relaxing a bit more again.
Yeah.
And then things kind of like went back to some sort of normality. You couldn't do hot towels or things like that for a while. For that, we could only do the haircut and lift the beard.
How annoying was that period when they just opened up?
Really annoying. Well, for me, the most annoying thing was wearing a face shield. I can take the mask. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but the face shield for me, you got steamy. You can't see properly. You got lights hitting you in different directions because it's a plastic. When you're trying to do a fade, they just like kind of start moving around, trying to get the proper light, and then breathing is really difficult, especially if it's summertime.
Wow.
So yeah, it was hard to kind of like deal with that, but you just gotta fight through it, man. And then now we wear the masks. Some of the guys wear face shields. Everyone wears a mask and gloves.
And the gloves.
I've always worn gloves, really.
Okay.
Yeah, because you get splinters. Yeah.
Oh. So how hard is it to be a barber? Because a lot of people, it looks easy.
You can make it look easy.
But how hard is it to actually be a barber? I mean, obviously for you it's slightly different because you started off when you were young, and you had that love for it. Yeah. And I guess it was almost intriguing for you, and you was learning the language, learning the way of the land. You was fascinated.
Yeah.
Let's now take about someone who wants to become a barber due to the financial benefits of it. Yeah. How hard is it to be a good standard barber?
I mean, it could take you anything from if you put your heart and soul and all everything into it, it's not that hard. It's about wanting to learn. It's about wanting to become a barber. If you want to become a barber, that's what you got to focus yourself on. I'm going to be a barber. I'm going to eat barbering, sleep barbering, shower bar, everything you got to think about barbering. and then it will be a lot. Like many things in life, you know, you want to be something, you got to get it. And I think it's only as hard as you make it. If you want to learn how to be a barber, then go and be a barber. A lot of people want to be barbers until it becomes time to be a barber. And that's something Ian says all the time in the shop.
So a lot of barbers want to become barbers till they become barbers.
And when they become barbers, like, oh, this shit's hard. Oh, man, it's too many hours. You have the guy walking at the last minute, like, oh, I don't want to do it. Come on, bro. Yeah, I thought you wanted to be a barber. Oh, no, I've got to go home. What are you going to go home to watch TV? You know, and then, oh, no, my girlfriend's waiting for me. Oh, I've got a date.
She has to understand.
Let's understand.
I guess this is. I mean, I guess that's the problem we have in pretty much all walks of life. Everyone sees the glamour, and they think, yeah, this is. I want that car. I want that watch. I want that shoe. But they don't appreciate the work.
All the years that you have to put in. To become the years experience. It takes a while to become the barber that you will want to become. You can become a barber and do only 2 back-end sides and become a 2 back-end sides barber, and that's all you know. And that's all you do. Yeah, I'm a barber, but I only do 2 back-end sides.
You have a very limited clients.
Yeah.
You'll be your brother, your mom, your dad, and your dad's girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's it. Hey, mom, there's some mums there with 2 backs and sides. It's possible.
Yeah.
No, but it's. Do you think it's a problem that we're facing a lot? The lack of dedication for greatness. And lack of appreciation.
It's more the lack of appreciation. I think that the young up and coming barbers and younger barbers have to appreciate the guys that have been doing it for a long time. And listen to someone experienced when they ask you to do something, or you have to do things this way or that way. Don't worry about what they told you in school. Do it like this, do it like that, and it will help you become a better barber. Yeah, they need to appreciate the history of barbering. History of barbering is not just picking up a pair of clippers and start cutting hair. It's everything else that involves barbering. You need to have the talk. You need to have your persona. You need to have a charisma. Otherwise, you're just a haircut.
And people won't buy in because people buy into you.
If you're just a haircut, I can get a haircut anywhere. But if you come to my shop, I look after you and we build that rapport and even if I give you a rubbish haircut, you want to come back and sit in my chair because I make you laugh, because I give you coffee, because, all of those things that involve barbering, make you feel like you're part of our family. When you come to a shop, you stop going to the barber, you still go to, you break up with your barber now, you know what, bro, I'll see you soon. I've had a few clients that I've changed the barbers, and not only my clients, a lot of the clients that probably just because the barber didn't turn up one time and they just thought, you know what, they'll find out about us. They came to our shop and they fell in love. Not only with the haircuts, because the haircuts are good, with the experience, the energy, the music. We love hip hop. We're like hip hop barbershop. You can walk in the shop, you hear old school hip hop, you hear old school R&B, Motown, James Brown, all of that. So we go back. We make you feel like you're part of a family, part of a culture. So
I think you said it. I think that's the key word you said, the experience. I believe a lot of people don't appreciate that word experience or really know what it means. I mean, if you're doing any sort of business or anything, don't aim for the money, because the money will come.
Yeah, the money will come. The money will come. You have to aim for being great at what you do.
Because if you ensure that every single customer you has an experience, because whatever product or service you are selling, believe me, they can get it somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you give them that product or service along with an amazing experience, they will come to you. And not only will they come to you, they will also turn into your ambassadors.
Yeah.
They will go out there and sing your praise.
Yeah. They're like walking advertisement for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So focus on their experience.
That person in your chair is the most important person in the world right there.
For that 1 hour.
That 1 hour.
Just not happy endings.
Let's
Make it clear.
no happy endings. Downstairs. 10%. Wait.
Oh, I like that. Okay, well, that we'll discuss off camera. So if you was to go back in time, if you was to go back in time, the younger you, the 12-year-old you, what would you do different?
That's a good question. I probably would have spent more time learning barbering the right way, because I was like jumping in and out of barbering, cutting here, cutting there. Sometimes I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna play football. I probably would have like taken more time to learn things properly. But then again, that's the way it happened to me. So I wouldn't change much from it, because the experience I got becoming a barber, a lot of people don't get it. So I'm actually blessed to have learned the way I learned, and have learned from experienced barbers, you know. And it wasn't always nice. It was always, you know, there was always arguments here or there. So that builds you up to become who you are today. When I was younger, I was, you know, out and about a lot, you know, friends not getting up to, you know, good things and stuff like that. I would probably change that.
So be more focused.
Yeah. So yeah, I would probably change that. But as in the experience I got becoming a barber, I wouldn't change much from it, because that's what made me the barber I am today.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we're here with one of the top barbers in Champs Barbers, based in central London.
Thank you.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you? Yeah, socials, internet.
So at Champs Barbers on Instagram. Mine is at Fabian _Villegas on Instagram, and on Facebook and on Google. You put Champs Barbers and all the information comes out. You can also book through Instagram. There's a booking link.
Can you pay through Instagram as well?
You can. The link takes you straight to the booking system, and the booking system allows you to pay.
Now, how many barbers you know if they already willing to take your money before they cut your hair, they are A1 barbers? Because you know in the hood, you're not giving away money
until the end.
Until the end. Yeah. And only, you know what?
Wait, show me the back. I can see the sides, but show me the back, man.
You know, I remember when I used to work, one of the most annoying things is customers would come in, right? They sit in a chair. They full well know they didn't have the right amount of money. After the whole haircut is done, and they told it, hold this, I'll give that used to kill barbers. Are you just it was
that happened to me, man. When I was so after I left that shop where I started, I went in different shops, and I had a little shop myself near my house, and I was doing haircuts. I think it was back then it was for a tenner.
Yeah.
And I always get the man that after the haircut, they'll be like, oh, boss man, I've got £8 on me.
Yeah.
I got £7 on me. And I'll be like, I lie a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, you know what, bro. I was trying to get customers in. Yeah. And don't worry, bro. But then every time they came back, they'll be like, boss man, I've got so now I was like, have you got the tenner? Have you got the £15? Because otherwise I'll give you half a haircut.
Imagine that. Maybe that's how the Mohican was born. Maybe that's the first person that did it.
Yeah.
Serious. No, it's beautiful. So for you, the beauty and interesting thing about you realized your passion from early.
I did. I once I had a level of experience, I knew I was always gonna do barbering, no matter what else I did. Like I said earlier, I did a lot of different jobs, construction, cleaning, even worked for a solicitor, but I was always barbering on the weekend, on a Friday night after work or Saturday morning. I was always cutting hair, 1 or 2 clients. So I knew I was always going to be a barber somehow. And then there was a point in my life that I was tired of not liking what I was doing, not loving what I do. I'll get up in the morning like, work.
That's a painful feeling.
Yeah. And a lot of people aren't blessed enough to say, I want to get up the next day and go for it. I think I don't ever get the feeling where I have to. I mean, sometimes if you've been out the night before, I'm like, oh, but
Yeah.
I get up in the morning and I want to go for it. I want to go kill it. And that's a feeling that is priceless.
That is, I get that feeling.
Yeah, that's
I really get that feeling. But the problem is, it is very hard to translate or advise someone on how good that feeling is.
Yeah,
because
you can't explain it.
You can't
explain it.
But the answer, go on.
See, I was just talking to someone the other day, and they were looking at me. They was waiting for me in the shop. They were looking at me, and they said to me afterwards, like, looking at you, watch you cut hair. It's like you're in your zone. You're in your, it's your nature. You just do it and you talk and you just get it done. So when I'm cutting hair, I know what I've got to do. I see your hair and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna get, and I'll advise you and to get this, get that, depending on what you want as well. And then I just start cutting and talking and going, and then it's like it becomes like automatic.
It's natural.
It's natural. That's why it doesn't feel like work.
And when I try to advise people, I find it hard because the only thing I can tell them is it will come. But I guess it's so hard and difficult for someone to advise someone of not knowing when.
Yeah.
Because they got bills to pay. They don't believe in themselves. They don't see the future. But realistically, they don't understand the path they're in. It's actually holding them back. Because as you discovered, eventually that day will come where said, no, I need to do something. And they need to then go back and reconnect to their passion.
Yeah, reevaluate everything. And I mean, anything you do in life in general, like I said, you have to do it with passion. And if you don't feel that passion from an early stage, you're probably in the wrong business, or you're probably just doing something because you like it a little bit, and that's not what you actually want to do. But it will build you on, and you learn things from it to become what you're actually going to become or what you want to do. And so you have it's quite deep, but you have to look inside, like deep inside yourself, and say, okay, what is it that I really like? What is it that I want? What is it that I want to do with my life? What is it that what do I enjoy doing? If you like music, if you like painting, if you like playing football, obviously playing football, you got to start from an early age, but you got to really look deep inside yourself and think, is this what I want? Is this what's gonna feed me if I do it to the full of my potential, and my family feed me and my family, and so I can pay my bills, look after myself, and have a good life,
And you won't feel like you're working.
You won't feel like you're working.
So you got a young barbers out there who are up and coming, trying to be where you are. What advice would you give them? What is the number one advice would you say they must follow and do to be where you are today?
Your clients, number one. Every time, no matter who it is, your client, the most important person. Because that client is going to bring you more clients. It's going to bring you his family, his kids. Those kids that you cut in the shop, those kids that he's trying to skip the queue, you're trying to not cut their hair. Those kids, you could be cutting their hair their whole life. That's some of the advice I'll give them. And yeah, just work your ass off, because it's going to pay off in the end. What you got to work your ass off. There's going to be days that you feel like you can't go any longer. But that last one client that walks in the shop and you're like, oh, man, do you know what? I've got to go. And he's like, please, man, I've got this date. I'm like, no. That one client could change your life as well.
That's true.
That one client could be that one guy that's got this link that is going to bring extra income into your pocket.
Which is true. There's that famous picture, 4 feet from gold. I don't know if you know of it. No. So basically this guy is in a tunnel.
Yes, I've seen it.
Digging gold, digging. And then he just gives up.
Right at the end.
Right, but what he doesn't see on the other side, just one more hit.
Yes, and the
gold is his.
Yes,
but he walks away. So that's very much exactly what you said.
Don't give up. Don't give up. If if you like it, if you feel that passion for it, don't give up. Just like work your ass off, because it will pay off in the end. You start seeing, your the fruits blossom. You start seeing it growing after a while. It's gonna take hard work and some time, but it will happen for you, definitely.
Thank you very much, sir. So this is the part of the show which is my favorite part, where you close the show. That is your camera. You close it however you want to close it. You want to sing, you want to dance, whatever you want to say, it's on you. You close the show.
All right. Oh, okay. Put me in the spot there.
No pressure. And we don't tell people till the very end anyway.
All right, cool. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. This is actually the first time I do this, and I love it.
He's lying. It's not the first time it's done.
And yeah, I just want to say, I'm really happy to be here, and for anyone out there, whatever you want to do in life, do with passion, for you, for your family. Yeah, man. Thank you very much. And it's been great. It's been a great day, a great experience, and I'll definitely be back if you have me back.
You hear that? He's coming back.
I'm coming back.
Next time with his, we're gonna make sure there's a bar. I'm gonna be sitting in the barber chair.
Oh,
so
you could do that. You could give you a haircut.
You know what? We do that.
We could get one of our apprentices, and then I'll tell him what to do.
I want to see his checklist first. I'll be going around like the haircut appearances to give us. No, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been Francis Koh, the guest.
Yes.
Fabian has been the host. Thank you very much. Till next time, love, peace, and happiness.
God bless.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
That was sick.
Oh.
That was sick.
First time, innit, doing something like this.
Thank you, sir.